up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, showcasing the Brooklyn Aquarium Society's live stream for this month. This is July 2022. As you may or may not have known, we are not meeting in person tonight. I hope you know that, or otherwise, you're standing at the church and the door's not open. So, if you're at the church and the door's not open, it's because we usually do not meet in July and August. So, this week is a virtual event. And the reason I'm doing a virtual event is most people are on vacations or out of town and so on and so forth. So they are not able to do a live event next week, being us not being able to do a live event next week. Now, what we're going to do is talk about some upcoming events. I'm trying to pull up the photo contest information here, which I have on ye old computer, which never fails when you want to do something, it always gives you a hard time. But anyway, we're going to talk about upcoming events. We're going to have the illustrious Andreas Tanke, which is a going to be an excellent talk. September is going to be next month, our second Friday of the month, which will take place at the church. It's going to be September 9th at the church that we've been meeting at. Everybody, as a member, I'm going to post it on the website. I'm going to send you guys reminders because I know everybody tends to get confused since we're not meeting at our regular meeting place at the aquarium. So keep a lookout for that. You'll get that shortly. I'm just doing some updates here. The second meeting, which is going to be in October, is going to also be a great event. That's going to be one of our giant auctions. So we're going to have a 50-50 October 14th, which is the day before my birthday, so I can remember that. It's going to be October 14th at the church. I'm going to send a link out to members. If you're not a paid member of the Brooklyn Aquarium Society, well, you're shooting yourself in the foot because we have a host of sponsors. Great sponsors, including Pacific Aquariums, Manhattan Aquariums, Brooklyn Zoo in Manhattan. We have a grand opening, which I'm going to announce in out in Old Country Road in Long Island, the aquarium shop, which is going to be an awesome store. It's a partnership between the Joe, the co-owner of the Manhattan Aquariums, and Mike, who's a former manager at the Manhattan Aquariums. It's a great store. It's going to be both planted aquariums and reef aquariums, so you're going to really like that. Take my word for it. They're building it all state of the art. They're going to have planted aquariums. They're going to have an aquascaping booth. So if you're new to saltwater aquariums, they're going to actually have a booth there where you can lay out your plants, your rocks, see what it's going to look like in your aquarium before you buy the aquarium rock or the aquascape. So that is going to be awesome. They're going to have tons of shrimp tank setups, planted tank setups. I believe they're going to have reptiles. We didn't really talk about that, but they have a host of all-in-one tanks. They got Red Sea tanks. They got custom tanks. And if you haven't been to Manhattan Aquariums in Manhattan, you don't know what you're missing because these guys have some of the premier saltwater fish, like aquascapes. For the New York area, they are one of the premier aquarium shops, along with Pacific Aquariums. Chi, one of our longtime sponsors at Pacific Aquariums. Um, Great store down by the Williamsburg Bridge down in Manhattan. Another store, awesome aquascaping. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm multitasking. But an awesome aquascaping store. They have ponds. They have a saltwater section in the back. If you hear the talking behind me, it's my son. You know what happens when you get the man cave. You got two guys, no consideration, but that's another story. Um, Excellent store, Pacific Aquariums. So going back to how I started, if you're not currently following us on basny.org, host of listed aquarium sponsors. And if you have your card, if I had one here to show you, I would show you. If you had your membership card, I send them out so much I don't have them here. But if you have your membership card, you go to the store, you show your membership card, you can get 10%, 15%, even 20% in some of the stores. So definitely have your membership card. And if you're not a paid member, go to our website. You can see how to become a paid member. So Let me enter a few keystrokes here. I see some guys are logging in. One of the things we're going to do tonight is I'm pulling up the, hold on a second here. I typed in the wrong code. Hold on a second. If you don't know what's going on, is now that I'm operating multiple devices here, it's going through two-step verification because I have more than one piece of equipment with my logon. So let me say, stay signed in, but I don't want to do that. Let's just keep going. Okay, so once again, we have our members that posted pictures on our Facebook page for the photo contest. What the photo contest is a bi-monthly or quarterly photo contest for our members. The winner of the contest this month is going to get a beautiful rimless aquarium. It's going to have everything you need to start it up. It's got a glass top, even though some people rimless don't go for the glass top, but you can have a rimless glass top aquarium here on the winner, and you get to represent our club for the next coming months until a new winner is chosen. So that's going to be awesome. I'm looking for some of our people to sign on here. In a second, let me check. They may be in the back room. One of the things that we also do is we have a annual, several times a year we try to do it. What's up, Fish Keeping Jamaica? Shout out to Fish Keeping Jamaica, longtime supporter, always logged in. Shout out to Jamaica. But what we do is a SIG. Before COVID, before the pandemic, before everything got topsy-turvy between PA, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Brooklyn, Queens, the 5 boroughs, we have SIGs, which are special interest groups. What we do is we go to a member's house and we showcase their aquariums and we talk about it, similar to what I'm going to do tonight with the photo contest. Our president is under the weather. He is not able to make it. I was hoping that these guys would send their photos, but long story short, here I am. Tried true. Fish keeping is my life. Sad, right? Shed a tear for me. But we share our tanks. We go to members' house. We used to have snacks, talk about tanks, go over these fish rooms that some of these guys have awesome fish rooms and talk fish for until, whatever. But since we can't do that, or, people are not 100% comfortable, I'm doing it virtually. If you want to share your tank tonight, leave a comment here. I can actually send you a link and I can bring you on the show and you can share it with your phone. Right now, I'm going to do a tour of mine right now, and then I'm going to pull up our photo contest here. I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, you got to go through so many hurdles to share across multiple devices, since nowadays so many of these websites get under attack. It's kind of tricky. So let me go back to my page, go to my channel, pull that up because this is taking a long time.
What you could do is, you can dodge and into parry.
And if you know of any upcoming events, I know we have the Keystone Clash coming very soon next month. We have quite a few of our brothers in North Jersey. I'm not sure the date. I pull up the date because we just missed the meeting. I just missed Greater City. I'm sorry, Joe. Shout out to Joe Fidenzi. I missed the Greater City Aquarium meeting on Wednesday because I was running an errand for some of my seniors. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm always available to my seniors. I kind of spread myself too thin on many occasions. And by the time I got home, I did not have enough time to shoot over to make the Greater City Aquarium meeting, which is in Queens. So sorry, guys. And I'm sorry because it was a saltwater discussion. And of all the meetings I missed, I actually missed a saltwater discussion. So I'm an idiot. Sorry, Joe. Hopefully I can make the next one. And I'm usually working on Wednesdays, which is why I'm so mad. I said I was going to make that meeting. So I will make the next meeting or I will die trying. Their meetings are held on the Wednesdays of the month. It's usually second Wednesday of the month if I'm taking. Greater City Aquarium meeting is usually so. Shout out to the Greater City Aquarium meeting out there in Queens. Okay, I have my slides open. And what I wanted to say is, if you are not aware, we have our Facebook page open to the public, where it varies from the paid membership, which is for paid members only. Our paid members get to meet in person the second Friday of the month. We have a brilliant auction, which includes live fish, plants, freshwater, fish tanks, stands, filters, equipment. I have a ton of stuff that's geared up for the September and October meetings. I actually have a 90-gallon tank that's going to be up for auction. I have a 60-gallon tank and stand, which is up for auction. I have, I think, 3 40-gallon breeders, which are up for auction. We have filtration units. We have saltwater equipment. We have protein skimmers. All of this stuff at rock bottom prices. Well, at least at prices you will never get in the store. So look out for when we're going to premiere that auction. It's going to be very soon. All right, let me just share that screen. Okay. I should have just put the slides up there. That would have been much easier, but I'm spreading myself too thin. That's my problem. Okay. Chrome tab. Here's a photo contest. Another note which came up, there was controversy, which I try to avoid. When people try to message me, sometimes you're messaging, you gotta understand that there are multiple people that manage our YouTube page. So it is not only me. I work long hours, I work in the public, so I'm not always in avail to answer immediately. Let me see. Let me just share that. All right. Photos. And we had some great photos, but I'm not always in a place where I can jump in and off the phone. So usually I will answer them at the end of the day, provided I could get to the phone, which is usually difficult. So don't feel like I'm not answering you if I don't get to your messages right away. I try to get to all of the messages. I have probably 3 other people that monitor the Facebook and Instagram pages. I shared a photo that I was given for the contest. Long story short, the individual's name was not on the photo. It was not me taking credit of your photo. I have 13 tanks. I'm not trying to pick up any more, but I don't want anybody to feel disrespected or that I did it on purpose. So I went out of my way to make sure that I put these users' names on the photo so that I can give the proper credit. And always sharing is caring. We're never out to beat anybody. I don't care if you're in this hobby for 40 years or for 40 minutes. We share the love with everybody in the hobby. Our goal is to educate. Also, what we want to do, while I'm on that topic, in October, we're going to have a special event. We're trying to work with the Boy Scouts and some of our local youth. Our intention is to get young people in the hobby. If we don't get young people in the hobby, us old folks are going to croak and nobody's going to remember none of this brilliant information that we have to offer. So in October, we're going to have several tanks up for auction. We want to have an aquascaping contest. We want to get the kids are involved, or even if you're just setting up your first aquarium, we're going to have multiple tanks that we're going to provide, brand new tanks. We're going to have the materials. We're going to have a filter. We're going to have the basic starting system for you to get started in a tank. We're going to aquascape it. We're going to have a raffle that night, and we're going to give everybody opportunities to win these tanks. We're going to hopefully get some kids up there so the kids can get their first tanks, maybe even a couple of fish or two. So look out for that in October. October is going to be auction and tank month. September is going to be Andreas Tanky. He's going to be talking plecos, but October, plecos, you don't know. Andreas has a wealth of information. I talked to him various times over the phone on our back and forth text. He gets these fish from all over the world, Brazil, South America, and has a wealth of knowledge on plecos. So September is going to be tank talk and auction. October, we're going to have raffles and giveaway of tanks. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, subscribe now. That's where you're going to get all the reminders and updates of what we're going to be having going on. And like I said, we got 90-gallon tank we're going to have available. Actually, I have that available now. 90-gallon tank and stand. I got a 60-gallon tank and stand. We got 40-gallon tanks. We got all-in-one tanks. We got nano tanks. I got a rimless tank, which I'm going to give to the winner tonight. Let me get that. brand new rimless tank. We're gonna have gravel, lid, light, everything you need. Rimless tank for the winter tonight. If I don't fall and break it. Also, we're gonna have that tank's gonna be set up. You're not just gonna get a glass box. You're gonna probably have some sand in there, get filtration in there. If I have a light, I'll throw that in there too because I want everybody to have a running start. If you know me, I'm always trying to get everybody into the hobby, get you guys running. Shout out my man, Fish Keep in Jamaica. We're talking back and forth. He's in Jamaica setting up fish tanks. I think he had tilapia out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, boss. He's got tilapia. We got people in the UK. We have people in Florida. We have people in Canada. We got people in California. So we're sharing the love. But for this photo contest, to win the prize, which is the tank, you got to be able to pick up the tank. If you're not in the area, you can still win. You just won't be able to get the tank. Shout out to Bill and Melly. Welcome, Bill. I thought you're going to come on here with me. If you need the link, let me know. I can shoot you the link in via the cell phone. I got my phone right here, trusty dusty. So shout out to Bill and Melly, one of our board members. And let's talk about this tank. Bill, hello. Let me know if you want to get that link to come into the room. But this tank, which is a starter tank, and I don't care how advanced you are, I give credit to everybody. Rohan Alt, which has several tanks. This tank I thought was nice because it is nothing in there but plants. I believe this is a 10-gallon tank. He sent me a lot of information on the other tanks. He did not give me this one, but I believe this is a 10-gallon tank that he has. Just got some Java fern there, what looks like a little bit of guppy grass, and he's got a betta swimming around in there. Let me go and pull up my record here. He has another tank here, which I'm going to play. Which is another beautiful tank that we'll get to a minute here. Another mub. Beautiful tanks. Dale never runs out of tanks. If you guys are here, this is trying to stop the slideshow so we don't fly past it at the speed of light. You can see I'm fumbling all over the place. But Dale has here is my sparkling gourami, which I am a big fan of the sparkling gourami. Let me see. This is another beautiful tank. Hopefully this is clear. Rohan Alt, let me check the video. I want to make sure it's clear. Ask for it. Okay, we'll ask for it after he's finished dinner. Bill's eating dinner. See, Bill, I get to eat dinner like 4 o'clock. We're in a meeting. He's eating dinner. Shout out. I hope you have something good to share with me. But this is a beautiful tank by Rohan Alt. You don't have to have that picturesque rock and skin. All you set up your tank the way you like it. I like this tank because it is so clean. I don't know if he knows or doesn't know. I see he's got some mollies in there. It looks like a 20-gallon. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. He left a note down there earlier. Beautiful 20-gallon tank. He's got some floating grass in here. The beautiful thing about this tank is it's so clean. I see you got some bamboo in there. Usually I don't get the bamboo to do that well underwater. Usually I have to have it above water. He may have had this set up for a short amount of time. So beautiful tank here. I love the little bamboo hut. I'm going to tell you a little story about the bamboo hut. I had one of those bamboo huts, but very small with a little windmill. And I had it in a tank of Oscars. Now, let me tell you, when I turned the bubbler on, my Oscars did not like when I turned the bubbler on. They used to knock it over. So when I figured out that I could leave it in there with the bubbler off and they didn't bother it, I says, I guess these guys don't like the noise that it used to make. But I just bring that up because I see that right now he's not using the bubbler. But I just thought that was a funny story because when I had that similar figurine in my tank, my Oscars used to knock it over. So it was the funniest thing. Some of these fish have such a They have such a just a mood of their own. You can't tell them what to do. Let me go to the next. That was the first one. Let me make sure I stopped it. This thing is just going without me stopping it. Let me go back. I don't know, Dale, to jump on photo. Okay, there we go. This is so crazy that it's running through this so fast. I think we stopped it. All right, hold on. See some room. Just give me a minute. Let's start this over. All right. Now, this is all right. Let's move it along manually. And I want to say that we had about it's just moving so fast. I don't know why. It's just busting my balls. All right. This tank is by Liz Puello, which is another very active member of the club. Liz, I love this tank. Let me tell you why. I have struggled with lilies indoors. I see these are beautiful lilies. I don't know if you're there right now, but trying to grow them in the tank, many people have bought them and failed. I'm one of those people. Hey, Bill, I see you're here.
How's it going?
It's going cool, man. How are you? I hate to disturb your dinner.
It's okay.
I literally slapped my dinner down,
Oh, all right.
but it was so hot out here. I was feeding the fish and I left the flake food outside, a little canister of flake food. Don't do that because it got really soft. So luckily I only left the little canister, a sample canister, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so humid outside. I was in the midst of prepping for this and just got caught up. So I was trying to get Paul's pictures, but unfortunately I did not get his pictures, didn't come over. So sorry, Paul, if you're wondering why I didn't get your pictures, I did not get your emails, so we're gonna have to share those another time. But sharing is caring. So this is a 20-gallon beta tank. And now I'm gonna also say that when we held the contest, all of these pictures got voted on. Not by me, not by the board, by everybody posted their picture on Facebook. And we're determining the winner by the number of likes that each photo got. So at the end, I will just reveal who got how many likes. But this 20-gallon high tank, I thought was awesome. Once again, you don't need a lot of equipment. It's simple, it's clear. He's got what looked like, I can't tell by that photo, but it looks like some neons. Really nice fish. He's got a nice little school going there. And just simple, clean. He's got some sag in there. It looks like some micro swords in the back. Kind of hard to tell if that is Rotala in the back or what have you. But he actually has some plants growing out. He's got some pothos growing out the back with a little aqua clear 20, if I'm not mistaken, hang on the back filter. But a nice little tank and nice little entry. Now, this was the first tank that we looked at by Rohan Alt. sorts in there, a little talus, some guppy grass, a nice tank. This actually may be a 20-gallon rimless. I think this is a 20-gallon rimless. He just doesn't have it filled up all the way.
I mean, that's
Nice little tank
yeah, I think it's kind
with a little red beta in there.
What
For
type of
those of you
filtration
that,
is he running?
what were you saying?
What type of filtration is he running?
I believe he has an Aqua Clear 20 on that last tank. On the rimless, it looks like he just had natural. He didn't have any filtration. He had a little sponge in there, but
Okay.
didn't leave any more information on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
But you can get away with that. For those of you that have the beta tanks, a lot of people run with no filter. Some people run with a filter. If you run your beta tank with a filter, let me know down below because I have quite a few. I know Mr. Ameli here is the guy I go to for my beta information.
The,
Would you say you run more tanks without the filtration or are you running them with the filtration?
without
Without. Now,
without filter.
how often do you do water changes?
With my smaller containers, every 2 to 3 days, I do a water change. With my 30-gallon tank, I don't really have to do much in the way of a water change. Maybe once a month, just 10%, because I have plenty of
Hmm.
Java ferns and Anubias in there, and that helps to filter the tank.
I, I actually have I think a 1 gallon hex that I think you may have even seen it. Um, uh, I bought that at an auction, one of our auctions about 4 years ago. No, it has to be about 7 years ago. And there's so much sword plant in that tank that I can't even see the fish anymore. So I always wonder if I have to worry about suffocating the fish. I mean, I know betas are labyrinth, like they come to the surface and kind of have that built-in ability to take in air from the surface.
Correct.
But have you ever had a problem like that? You ever worry about overgrowing a tank with plants with a fish in it?
No, no. Generally, the fish will get their oxygen either in the water or, in the case of labyrinth fishes, through the air. Um, but if you have plenty of plants there, the water quality should be, generally speaking, very good, and they should do fine.
Because that fish is one of the fish I got, one of the wilder caught betas that I got from Lisa Quilty. Lisa Quilty, shout out to Lisa, one of our Brooklyn Aquarium Society. I consider her a master breeder, even though she doesn't consider herself a master breeder. But Lisa has bred tons of Corydoras. Actually, one of the fish that we were talking about, Bill, the Corydoras, I believe she was trying or had already bred those in the past. So I may ask her if she has any of those.
Yeah, that's correct. She has, including Barbatus, which is one of the larger corridors.
Corridor barbatus. That's the bigger one that you see in the store. The large.
Well, the Barbatus is actually, it's not listed anymore as a quarry. I forget the actual scientific name. It begins with an S as in Sam, and
Mhm.
it's in that family. It used to be in Corridoras up until, I'll say, around the 90s, late 90s. It got changed. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like a corridor is just a little bit larger. It grows to about 4.5
Mhm.
inches in length, and it prefers cooler
Mm.
water than some of the other quarries. So for Barbados, 72 to
But you,
74 would be the upper level for them, and they could do well in 66 to
no.
68 degrees. But most of your other quarries
Yeah.
generally like it a little bit warmer. 74 to 78 degrees, and they'll be good.
But I remember her saying that she was breeding those a while ago. I don't know if she's still breeding them, but yeah, she was
I would
breeding them
think
for a while.
she would. Yeah, she was doing Sturbe, Aeneas, Barbatus. There's two or three other species. I can't think of them right now. I think she did do
Oh,
Palliatus. Yeah, she's had quite a bit of experience in breeding fishes. Um, Definitely missed. We haven't seen her in a while,
yeah,
but one of the really nice
but not
people.
forgotten.
Not forgotten.
Not
Not forgotten.
Now here's Dale King's tank. Now I see Dale has an aqua clear on the back. This is a 20 high planted nano with pencil fish.
Yeah.
And another fish that I like, pencil fish, was shrimp. I was always scared to keep pencil fish because I didn't know how aggressive they got. But this is a well planted tank, a nice usage of I don't know if that what kind of wood that is. That's not the
It
I
looks
forgot
like
the name.
driftwood. I don't think it's Mopani wood.
Mopani, right?
It's
I don't think that's
yeah, it's
Mopani,
regular.
but
No, it's regular driftwood.
nice usage of the plants. You have some micro swords down there. And I'm gonna say I'm no expert at photography. Believe me, I'm always trying to learn. Always trying to learn. And this is a good photo to me.
Yeah,
So
it looks very nice.
let me see who we have here next. And I wonder what that rooting is. I don't know if that is like water lettuce, but the root structure is really strong up there. Let's see. Let's move this. All right. Here's Liz Puello's 29-gallon low planted tank that we saw a glimpse of earlier. Really nice tank. Like I said, I don't know if those are cardinals, but this is a better view of the picture. Got the resolution a little high. One thing I didn't notice is up in the left-hand corner, you have one of those floating glass planters. Oh, I love those. They sell those at Pacific Aquarium, who is a big sponsor of the Brooklyn Aquarium Society in Manhattan. What street are they on? They're not on
They're on
what
Delancey Street.
Delancey Street, right? So
Unfortunately, I don't have the building number, but they're on
they're on
Delancey.
Delancey Street. Delancey Street in Manhattan. I know he carries those. Those are really cool. One thing that I would recommend for those, if you guys have a problem growing the lilies, what I did is I planted it in one of those glass suction cup flower pots, and I put it outside and I waited for it to sprout, and then I moved it inside in the winter. So that really worked out pretty nice. I got a beautiful red lily to grow outside, and then I was able to move it inside for a while and shed its leaves, and it was just a beautiful plant. I don't know if he has any shrimp in this tank, but for a low planted tank, I see he has a little sponge covering the intake to what looks like it looks like a marine land, one of the marine land pumps. And sorry, I just advanced without wanting to advance.
Hmm.
And all
That's a
right,
very
there we
interesting
go.
looking
Stop.
aquarium.
Let's click stop. All right, here's a vase by Dale King. Now, for those of you that are trying to grow what looks like mangroves, that looks like a mangrove plant that he's growing from a seedling. Dale, you definitely got enough light on it. I don't know if that was him that said that he wipes the leaves off every day. The mangroves. This isn't the red variety. I don't think it's the red variety, but he basically got a vase. He has the LED lighting and just a nice way. I see his little spray bottle, so it probably was. Dale sprays leaves to keep them moist and just has them out of the water. Make sure his water is nice and clean, which I see. Another nice tank. Well, a nice vase. All right, let's go to the next one.
Is that kept in brackish to salt water, or are
I
there
know
such
the
thing as
variety.
a freshwater mangrove?
The variety that this looks like, it looks like a freshwater. I mean, it looks like a freshwater variety. Hard to tell from the picture, but I know the red variety, the red mangroves, have to be grown in salt water.
Okay.
Usually, for the saltwater hobbyists, they usually keep them in a refugium, which is basically a area within your sump underneath your tank that you just keep for growing plants. But I see this, he's growing in a vase. Nice way to keep it. You can even keep them in a window. You can put a vase in a window and grow them that way. But I did have a tough time getting them to grow in the refugium without having to clean them. They grow very slow. All right, here's another tank. Liz sent us I probably 3 photos, which got individually voted on. This is a 40-gallon breeder. She has several 20-gallon tanks. I want to know how many tanks she has, but you can see in the distance, she has one of the other tanks on the right. So I
Right.
would say Liz has at least 4 to 5 tanks, if not more. But this one is low planted tank. I see once again some nice Anubis in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's low tech, which I believe means she doesn't have any type of filtration in there.
no CO2. She has the LED. Oh, shout out to the Doctor Who fans. She has the Doctor Who phone booth in the far right, which I didn't notice on Facebook, but I could see she's a Doctor Who fan. I
Okay.
see a little sponge filter way in the back there. Good usage of rock. Some of that is very dense rock in the front. She may have used some of the rock to hold the wood down on the far right. It can be hard to get that to stay down. Some Ritala, maybe some Kabamba, a little piece of Java fern, some Anubis, a really nice tank. I think I would say she has shrimp in here because she has a little bowl in the front of the tank where usually shrimp keepers leave out to feed their shrimp in that bowl. One of the other reasons I probably have had bad luck with shrimp. I usually just spot feed them in one spot. But a really nice tank by Liz. I believe this one got a lot of votes, so I'm gonna announce who has the winning number of votes at the end. But this is a nice tank. All right, let me go to this tank right here. Next time, I'm going to be a smart guy and just upload the photos to StreamYard, which would make life a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that will work out a lot better.
Oh, but you never know me to do anything the easy way, do you?
I don't know. You've been at this for quite a while. I would think you would have found the
Uh,
easier way.
all right. Jeffrey Rosenfarm. Now, call me crazy, but I love this tank. Now, I don't know if that is like a long leaf, like a sage. What would you say?
I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not as familiar with the
The
different
plants?
plant species as opposed to the fish.
But this is a beautiful tank. I mean, overgrown. If you guys know my tanks, I'm well known for having overgrown planted tanks.
Any
I'm gonna look
tank that
at
has living fish and the water is as clean as it looks there is a good tank.
it's a beautiful tank. So he just put in the description, this is a heavily planted tank. It's heavily planted. You ain't lying. Um,
It's like, can
heavily,
you be more specific?
it's a nice tank. LED
Yeah.
light.
What plant species do you keep in that tank?
It looks
If
like a
he's
long,
watching,
like a broad. It looks like a broadleaf sword. I may be mistaken
I don't think
because
so.
a
No,
lot of the no, right, or a sage, like a longleaf sage.
I don't
but
even think
really
it's
nice tank.
area, which is another possible plant, but I don't think that's a
Yeah,
valve.
I thought it might be a val. There are quite a few species of val, but I'm looking at it. I actually just bought some a new broadleaf val from one of our members, Keith from KG Tropicals, who sells some really beautiful varieties of val and swords. This may be one of the broadleaf vals. I'm not sure, but a really nice tank. One good thing about a tank that's planted like this, you really don't need a lot of filtration because with the plants being that heavily dense in there, they're pretty much doing most of your work. So shout out to Jeffrey Rosen Farm, a really nice tank. Let's go to another one here. Okay. And I got another update coming. I was talking about the tanks that we have in the auction. I didn't know if people had heard it earlier, but if you don't know, Bill Amelli, he is one of the premier auctioneers of the Brooklyn Aquarium Society. So I always have to give credit where credit is due. Bill has been a long time member, and one day you're gonna have to teach me the ins and outs of the auctioneer practice because you give some
Actually,
great deals.
actually, I started auctioneering so I can get over my fear of crowds. Whenever I used to do speeches, I can easily talk one on one with a couple of people in front of me. But when that's now 20, 30, 40 people in front of me, I start getting very nervous. And needless to say, then I'm thrown completely off. But so I started doing the auctioneering to get over that fear. And I can say that
Now, as long as I've known you doing the auctioneering, which has to be the greater of 10, 15, probably longer than that, since I've been in the club, I would never have thought you afraid of crowds. Because so I guess it works. I would say it
not so
works.
much afraid of crowds. Like I could go through a crowd, shake hands with people one on one, but to actually speak in front of a group of 40, 50 people, that used to unnerve me. So I started doing the auctioneering to get over that. And I'm glad I did, because there've been times when some clubs
Oh,
needed
we
an
needed you.
additional auctioneer for help, and I could easily go up to them and tell them, "Listen, I have auctioneered before, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out." Um, a few
Man, that's
years ago,
awesome.
out for the IBC, I actually auctioned for a while, and a lot of people were surprised because they didn't know that I had that type of experience, and thought I carried myself very well. And then in 2009, I also auctioneered at the IBC, and it was the first time in ever that I held in my hands a pair of the macrostoma, uh, betta macrostoma. And at that time, those fish were going for like $500 a piece. And
Five
during the
hundred bucks.
oh yeah, oh macrostoma, yeah, oh my goodness.
I've saw a few.
The
I've
pair
saw a
that I
few
sold
auctions
only
where.
went for about 150, $160, because as we know with all the clubs, um, once you get past like 2004, 2005, a lot of people weren't really bidding high on fish. Where before you could do macrostoma, and I probably would have sold them for 300 or 400 bucks. But
Well, if
a lot of
anybody's been to our auctions, they know when they come to our auctions, they have some great deals. Some of the
right.
fish that you would think would go for $100 may go for $20, and some fish that were like $20 have gone for $80 to $100.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's a hit or a miss. Some of these auctions are like a surprise. But
Right.
I know. Shout out to Dennis Alestra. We haven't seen him for a while. Shout out for Dennis,
Oh,
our
Dennis,
other auctioneer.
hello.
I got
Glad
to
you could
give
join us.
Dennis some love. And Gotta look out for our auctioneer Dennis Alestria. He does a lot of auctions. Really great guy, longtime member of the club. But yeah, we have some great tanks. Now, this tank is another one, a beauty. Um,
Yeah.
Beautiful tank. Bill Colazzo. Um, the usage of the statues, and you don't see those in a lot of tanks anymore. I mean, like the
I'm gonna
usage of
start
statues.
meditating right now.
That's that dinner going down, man.
What am I
He's got some
meditating?
guppies in there. He's got some tiger barbs in there. I don't know if that's a background or if that's actually rock. I see the rock in the front of the tank, and then he has like a rock background in the back of the tank, which is awesome. Like I
Right.
can't tell if it's a background or if it's the actual rock in the tank.
For those who
But
are
really, really,
watching,
really
if
nice.
if anyone wants to chime in, like they recognize a species of plant and they want to let us know a little bit about it, feel free to type it in the chat. I'd be greatly appreciated. I mean, this meeting is meant to be interactive so that you guys are not just watching, but you can also participate.
And we have this streamed over our Facebook page and both YouTube channels. So you can see it there. We'll probably record it and play it back later for those that have chimed in. Just in case you want to see if your photo won and you miss it, we're going to have that aired for a later view. Daniel says, sorry, he's been away for some time. Didn't know to pick submission, so he'll try to pay more attention. I know Dan must have, what do you got, like 5 tanks, Dan? I think he had like 180 gallon last time I talked to him, or like 10 tanks or something like that. So shout out to Dan Velez, another longtime member of the club. Um, yeah, I like this tank. I put one of these in my tanks, and I don't know if you remember, Bill. I got the things from my SpongeBob tank,
Hmm.
and it actually got a lot of algae grew on it, where it looked like it was growing a hat. So I actually cleaned it off the other day. But I thought that was really funny. Some of these things can take on a life of their own.
Is there
Let me
anyone
see what
on
else
who
we
is
got here.
new to Brooklyn Aquarium Society?
Anybody new to the club, leave your comments below because sharing is caring. And
Right.
one thing we do is try to get more and more people into the hobby. If your photos are in there, leave a comment below so that we know you're there. Let me see. We're going to go to the next photo here. Takes a while to pull up. Apologize for that slow refresh rate. That's what I get for going through YouTube. And this tank is consisting of guppies. I thought that was a swordtail, but these are actually guppies. So,
Yes,
Bill, I
those are.
will say that Mr. Colazzo, he was up in the running. So you guys did get a lot of votes on the Facebook page. And as I said, you can submit as many photos as you want it. Here's another tank by Liz Puello, a 20-gallon long, fully planted, another low-tech tank with a lot of grass. Now that is a lot of grass in the front. There's some Rotala in the back. There's a little sponge filter, and here again, she's got some floaters. Can't tell that maybe I don't think it's duckweed, but kind of hard to tell. But beautiful usage of the floating plants and another planted vase on the left hand side of the tank. A nice tank, and another shrimp dish. Got another shrimp dish there on the right hand side. So really nice tank. Can't tell what kind of fish there are. I can't really see those fish in there, but really nice tank here. Let me see
I'll
what
see if I
else we
can
got
find my
here.
magnifying glass.
Nah, let me see if I can see my other eyes.
And
I was taking
thank
care of
you to everyone who submitted a photo to the contest. It's greatly
yes,
appreciated.
thank you. actually, let me open my book here because I want to keep track of how many votes each tank got. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I will say that there was a tie with one more deciding vote. The beautiful thing is, since we're a club of the people for the people, guess what? If two people win, we can also share a month, but only one's going to get the prize. So you can share your photos and share all your stuff on Facebook, and we appreciate that because a lot of people have questions. How do you grow this? And there's people that are trying to grow grass like me that can't grow it this well. So you can always ask those people questions as long as you keep it respectable on the Facebook page. All right. And that was the last one. Let me see. I had one photo here. That was my entry. Of course, I'm not taking part in the contest because that would be a little shaky. But my new favorite fish, the sparkling gourami, I don't know what it is. I've kept Oscars, arowanas, saltwater fish, freshwater fish. Right now, I think this is my favorite fish right now. Don't hold me to it for like 2023. But a beautiful nano fish. You can keep them in schools. They don't bother shrimp. This is in a 2-gallon planted tank with this grass, which was one of our live planted grasses from one of our sponsors that was donated, and I purchased some. I have some guppy grass in there. I have a little bit of kambamba, but beautiful thing about this fish, I want to just mention this fish because a lot of people are just starting in the hobby. If you had a little tank or you're trying to start a kid in the hobby, you don't always have to start with betas. The sparkling gouramis are very hardy fish. Um, a labyrinth fish similar to the betas. They do take a lot of air from the surface, like some of the gouramis. They prefer a filter tank, but you can get away with like a 2-gallon tank, weekly water changes, a well-planted tank for this fish. I keep for that tank, that is a 5-gallon tank that it's in. It has nothing but a filter mat, which means one side of the tank has a filter mat and just aeration. That's it. And that tank's running for about 5 months. I mean, for about 2 years, 3 years with just air filtration. So let's go, and I will go back through all the submissions. So we had Jeffrey Rosenbarb's 20-gallon long. We had Bill Colazzo's 20-gallon long planted tank. We had actually 3 tanks from Liz Puello. We had 1 tank from Colin. Oh no, that was Colin made a content. Dale Garcia sent us a beautiful vase. Oh, my mistake, Dale. I think I gave credit to Dale King earlier for the planted vase. That was actually Dale Garcia's. Dale King's tank was the planted nano with the pencil fish in it. And now I'm going to go down and pull up who the winner was. And if you're questioning how I'm coming up with that, I got those winners actually from our Facebook page. So let me go back down and pull up that winning photo. Okay. Thank you for those of you that have stayed on and watched up until this time. That was Jeff's tank. The winner was Liz Pueto's 40-gallon breeder low planted tank, which received 7 total thumbs up out of the 9 submissions. The second runner up was Jeffrey Rosenbarb's tank, the heavily planted tank, which was this one. That was second place, but the first place prize goes to Liz Puello's 40 breeder tank. So, Liz, congratulations. Liz. You're going to get this beauty. Shoot me a message in the comments below. This is a 5.5 gallon. As if you needed another tank.
Yeah.
Liz is gonna be like, just what I needed, another tank. 15's the magic number, Liz. If you don't have 15 tanks, here's number 15. But beautiful rimless tank. I have sand. I don't know if you prefer sand. I have sand. I have river rock. So just message me your preference. Um, I even have a little LED light, whether you prefer or you may prefer those. So shout out to everybody that entered. If you didn't win this month, better luck. The next contest is going to be at the October in-person event at the church. So keep a lookout on the Facebook page and the YouTube page and basny.org. For those of you that do not know, BAS has been running since 1911, the longest running aquarium society in the US. And you can check out information for membership club events at basny.org. So thank you everybody for taking part. We've been going for 50 minutes. Thank
Do
you, Bill
we
and Melly,
have
for taking part.
do we have any new people there on?
We had a few people that came on and went off and came on and went on. I believe a lot of them are viewing from the Facebook page. So in order to get the Facebook page, you have to give StreamYard or give Facebook permission to show your name. So a lot of people that go on to the Facebook page don't get their name pop up in the comments because you have to give permission for it to use your name in order to have your name show up in the comments.
Okay. Just want to mention briefly that in October, the Greater City Aquarium Society out in Queens will be celebrating their 100th birthday. They were founded 11 years after the Brooklyn Aquarium Society was. So New York has two of the oldest aquarium societies in the country, if not the oldest aquarium societies in the country. Um, and then, of course, in addition to educating aquarists, which is what our goal is, we want to make sure that everyone understands clearly that all our aquarium societies, all across the country and around the world, they're all trying to do the same thing, which is to promote the hobby. So many new people are actually entering the hobby as a result of COVID. So we now have many other fish keepers. Some of them may not be interested in joining the Aquarium Society, but still might want information regarding the care of the fish, setting up the fish tanks, and so on. So they can always look at these aquarium societies, including our own, for such information. There are also some other wonderful people out there who promote the hobby. Aquarium Co-op, Simply Better, Dexter's World out in the Philippines, the King of DIY out in Nova Scotia. There are so many sources and references that people can look up to
New
get
York Gold.
information.
Shout out to our very own New York Gold right here that volunteers at all of our aquarium events. I just had to throw his name in there because he's one of the guys
Absolutely.
that does all the running at the
Absolutely.
clubs. He helps us bring tanks to the auction, so shout out to him as well.
The the aquarium hobby should be fun. It should not be work. Should not be some sort of chore. It should just be something that people enjoy doing. There are so many beautiful fishes out there, whether we're talking freshwater, brackish, or salt. We are blessed with so many beautiful animals, and it's always important that we take care of them the right way, uh, since they're going to bring us so much joy over time. So, on behalf of the Brooklyn Aquarium Society, thank you all very much for joining, and have yourselves a wonderful weekend.
Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and don't forget, the next meeting is going to be in person at St. Brendan's Catholic Church here in Brooklyn, right off Avenue N. Parish Hall, September 9th at 7:30. Don't miss it. There's going to be a great speaker, Andreas Tanke, discussing beautiful varieties of plecos that you probably never heard of. So stay tuned and check us out for that upcoming event. Until next time, once again, thank you for watching, everybody. And good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Take care, all. Have a good night, Dave.
Good night, Bill.